Getting ready for any kind of public presentation can be very nerve-wracking. We know for video, we have a whole system in place to make our clients feel comfortable. Today, we're joined with Matt Halloran from Top Advisor Marketing. And of course, Lori Garfield, my co-founder, is joining us as well. Matt, how do you get your podcast clients comfortable and ready to be their best self?
Surprisingly enough, laughing is the most important thing. I will tell a self-deprecating joke normally. For some reason, especially when we're doing a Top Advisor Marketing podcast, I have a script that I do with all of our guests, and part of it is just funny. And so, the guests will laugh. All of a sudden, their guard goes down and they're going to truly be their best. Now, when it comes to our podcast clients, I have this ridiculous video and I'm not going to share it with you. You have to be an actual client to see it. But I go through all of the physical, and it's ridiculous, but the physical things that I do to prepare, loosening the jaw, tongue twisters. I sing to warm my voice up. I make sure I have room temperature water. I go over my questions. I stretch out my neck. And a lot of it really is just that mindset. When I put on my headphones, right, it's game time. And just like video, I believe that it is a mind shift, right? You have to, okay, I'm about to perform. Here's what I need to do. So after I do the warm up with my mouth, singing, I actually jump around to get my energy level up, my blood flowing. But the minute I put those headphones on, it's game time. I'm focused. I know what questions I'm going to ask. And then my goal is to always make whoever's on the other side of the mic as comfortable as they can be, because then I'm going to get the good stuff.
Matt, I was just interviewed for a podcast yesterday, and you gave me some super valuable feedback. You told me that I was over projecting at the beginning of my statements and then trailing off, which is maybe a common thing that people do. What kind of mistakes do you see people making over and over?
It's ums, ohs, so's, and you knows that we hear the most. Most people start their sentence with a go-to word. So I think, I feel. We try to prep them ahead of time. Like I said, I have this whole spiel, watch your ums, ohs, so's, you knows. We all have them. We all use them. If you feel like you've been talking too long, you probably have been. I personally think this is a life lesson, not just a podcasting lesson. If you realize, oh my God, have I been talking a really long time? Well, yes, you have been, and just shut up, all right? Mostly what happens is people don't realize that it's a performance, right? So I don't know if you guys ever did this, but I did theater. And back in those days, we didn't have the super cool mics that they have now. So, you had to hit the back row. And by doing that, it was all about the diaphragm. And podcasting and video is the same way. Big, deep breath in through the tummy, right? And then slowly and consistently push. What happens a lot of times is people will hit that initial thing really hard. They're super excited to answer the question. They're excited, but then they start trailing off and they start running out of air. That's because I've literally run out of air. Making sure that you're very conscious with your breathing, making sure that you're supporting with your diaphragm will level all of that out, Laura, and make it so that you don't, like from an editing standpoint, it's really hard to just try to boost the end of a sentence when you fade it out.
Absolutely, Matt. I know when I do voiceover work, I always have a system in place, whether it's saying 3, 2, 1 before everything or whatnot. One thing we always tell our video clients, especially with our remote video clients when they're just talking to an iPhone, is to imagine that you're talking to one person standing on the other side of that camera, or the phone in this case. Do you have something similar like that? Do you have a trick for your podcasters?
I ask them consistently, Sharon, to have their eyes closed. I know that sounds strange. Maybe it sounds strange because you guys do video. That'd be terrible video, but it's great for podcasting. To keep their eyes closed. And I want them to, if I'm interviewing them, I want them to see me. Now, luckily, because of technology today, we have been able to make it so that we do a lot of stuff on Zoom. So I can see the people, so they can see my micro expressions. I can see theirs. There is so much that video gives that podcasting doesn't from a hosting standpoint. When I'm hosting, one of the things that I'm always doing is I'm always visualizing the client. I am trying to listen with more than my ears. Because if you learn and practice listening, which could be an entire video series in itself, but if you learn to practice listening, you hear the micro inflections in their voice instead of having to see those facial expressions that change. And that will allow you to truly hear what's just under the surface. And as you guys know with video, when I get right under the surface, I got gold, and that's what I'm always mining for.
Well, Matt, the next time I'm listening to a podcast, I'm going to be closing my eyes and breathing deeply. Thank you so much for all your tips. And for more great ideas, check out the Top Advisor Marketing. And of course, check out more of our great ideas at ideatocantor.com.